Hi, welcome to Knits Up. I am Mindy, your hostess, otherwise known as Knitter CNY over on Ravelry. And you'll also find a podcast group over there. We've had a couple new people join in the past couple of weeks, and there are, I think, 77 members now. And I appreciate the feedback that people gave me on the last episode. That's nice to hear. I saw somebody was starting some socks with Croy. That was kind of cool. And so I'm going to, in this show, do a quick update. It's not going to be anything majorly exciting, but I'm going to show you some stuff I've bought, a project I've gotten actually completed, finished, a couple things in progress, and then we're just going to wrap it up. So I finished something, and that is this pair of socks. And I don't know when I started them. It's probably on Ravelry. These are cuff down socks with a heel flap and a wedge toe. And they're out of Holiday Yarns Nora's Oceans colorway. So they're sort of a striping colorway. Holiday Yarns is a local yarn company. She's doing a lot of shows this year. She also sells online. And really nice people. I actually saw her yesterday at a fiber festival I went to, so that was kind of cool. But these came out really cute. I did reinforce them with some of the Lang reinforcing thread that I had bought from Webb's. This yarn I bought at Rhinebeck, I want to say 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, because it was the same. It was the last year that Sanguine Griffin was still dying, and the two of them were still together. So it was whatever that year was. Maybe it was 2011, 2012. I don't know. But anyways, it's older yarn, a couple of years old, and I'm glad I got it done. The reason I was able to get them done was our crazy weather. All of a sudden it warmed up. It's become spring in central New York, at least for the moment. It was 63 on Friday. At a funeral, unfortunately, I had to go to for a relative down in Binghamton who passed away kind of unexpectedly, but I ended up being home in the afternoon because I had taken the entire day off from the lab, and so I was sitting on my back steps, and it was 63 degrees out, so it was nice to be able to sit and knit and relax after that. And the next day, yesterday, it was in the 70s. Today, it's in the 80s. It's a little bit windy today, but that's okay. And tomorrow, it'll be 83. Unfortunately, I have to go to work, but maybe in the evening I can sit in the back porch and knit. And then on Tuesday, it's supposed to snow. It being central New York, that usually happens. So these are done. This is out of, like I said, Holiday Yarns. It's flock sock yarn, which is I think a 75 25 mix, but Nora's Oceans colorway. Really nice yarn. It's got a nice tight twist on it. Very nice. The other three things I'm working on. I should say 4, but there's not much to see on the 4th one. I'm still working on the Daybreak shawl by Stephen West. I got the solid portion done a couple weekends ago when I was down visiting a friend who lives in the Binghamton area. The other thing I'm working on is a pair of socks. I'm doing them 2 socks at a time, and they are from the top down. This is, they're not connected, but the yarn looks like this. And I'll flip it over so you can see the other side. It's kind of getting striped on this side. So this is Knit Picks Stroll. I think this is the Paisley colorway, and I think this is a 75-25 of merino wool and nylon. This is stuff I bought years ago when they had a Cyber Monday sale or whatever, and it's sort of sat in the stash not doing anything, so I thought I'll knit it. I'm knitting this on a Haya sock rocket needle. That's a US size 1, 2.25 millimeter. So that's what I'm using for that. Like I said, I'm doing it magic loop, so there's 2 balls of yarn. Helps when they're in frame, isn't it? So that's what it looks like in the skein and the balls. That's what it looks like when it knits up. I think it seems to be more stripy on one side than on the other, but that should even out after a while. And I'm not really all that concerned. They're socks. They're in my shoes. Big whoop. Let's see. The other pair of socks I'm working on, I think when I showed these a couple of weeks ago, there wasn't much progress on them, but there's a little bit more now. These are also a top-down socks, and you're not seeing anything because I'm not focusing. Let's try that. Looks like that. It's a brown, maroonish, burgundy color, and that's like a brownish, beigeish color in the middle. It looks a lot more stripy on the camera than it is in real life. And these, again, it's top-down magic loop. It's on a Addy Turbo US size 1. I think it's a lace. Sorry, Addy Turbo size 0. I think this is a 2.0 millimeter if I remember correctly. If it's not, somebody in Canada or whoever uses millimeters, correct me in the notes or whatever, you know, run it in the thread. US size 0 is how many millimeters? I'm guessing 2. I could be wrong on that. But this is working pretty well. It lives in a little zip-up thing I have that I got at the dollar store years ago. Somebody actually bought it from the dollar store for me because they had gone in the dollar store, and a whole bunch of us in a knitting group were like, ooh, those would be good. So that's what we bought. I started, but have not gotten very far whatsoever. I had talked about spinning the Kayuni that is not pronounced Kayuni. It is pronounced Keone? Keone? I can't remember. Anyways, it's the roving, the thin pencil roving, and I used a spindle to spin it up to make it more easier for me to use, so it wasn't going to pull apart as much. And I started a lentilla, which is a Martina Bem pattern. It kind of looks like that. There's little flutter by edges. There's like a ruffle portion that involves short rows, and then there's a straight portion that involves just going back and forth and I think slipping the first stitch, if I remember correctly. It's a really easy pattern once you get through it. It looks very, very complicated, but it's not. So you wind up, I think it's increasing 5 stitches every time for every little section, and it starts, because of the way the increases are done, it starts to spiral out, so that by the time you're done, you're going to be working the entire length of it and back, but it'll be a spiral type thing with little ruffles on the edges. And one of the viewers had gifted me this pattern. I'll put that in the notes because I really appreciate that. This is the same series of patterns that the Hitchhiker scarf is in, that a lot of other podcasters have done. I wanted to do lentilla because I like the ruffle effect. I had seen an Ella Rae pattern, a sample worked up in a shop that has since closed, that had like a ruffled edge that was really, really pretty. It was an Ella Rae lace, and I want to say they called it the Hyperbole scarf or something like that. It was in the Ella Rae book 14. I cannot find a picture of it, but it's really cool. It looked like seaweed because it was kind of ruffled like that along the edge. That's what it reminds me of. So I have a skein, I have some of this, and then I have some of this, and I have one little bit of this. So you can see there's kind of one, two, not doing this right. 1, 2, 3 shades. There's like a lighter blue. There's a bright blue in there. You can kind of see it at the top here. There's a bright blue, a purple, and a darker-ish navy blue. And if I do this right, they should all progress that way. So I'm planning to do this one first. This progresses into the purple on the inside, and then do the purple that progresses into the brighter color. That actually progresses into a darker blue, and then do the darker blue that progresses into the lighter bright blue color. So I just spun these as singles because, like I said, it was thin pencil roving, and the only reason I did it that way was to give it some strength so that I could use it more securely in that. I probably could have used the roving all by itself and just knit back and forth, but I wasn't secure. I kept pulling it apart, so I didn't want to pull it apart and have it not be any good, because I think it was like $13 or $16. Got it directly off of Etsy from the Keone people, and ordered it from Estonia. And shipping was like really reasonable. I want to say it came in like 10 days or something like that. Very, very nice. I bought a couple of things yesterday. The local Spinners Guild, I want to say it's the Golden Fleece Spinners Guild out of the Baldwinsville area, had, they call it the CNY Fiber Frolic. And it was at a local nature center that's in Onondaga County Park. Onondaga County is named after one of the Iroquois tribes, which are the Onondaga tribe. And so we have a system of county parks. This particular park, Beaver Lake Nature Center, was established in the late 70s. There's a small lake where you could do kayaking and canoeing, and then there's also a series of trails, and then there's a visitor center that has some natural programs. There's different programs throughout the year relating to nature and like kids exploring nature, that sort of thing. It's a nice center. It's not too big, it's not too small. A lot of school children use it. So I went shopping because the CNY Fiber Frolic is fun. There were a lot of new to me vendors, but there were a lot of old ones too that I know. I didn't buy all that much, but what I did buy I liked. And of course now, do I have a card? Yes, I have a card for stuff. Pardon the crinkling. So anyways, the first, I should tell you, Holiday Yarns, who had that flock sock yarn, was there. I bought just a couple of little magazines. She was selling, a friend of hers had given her a bunch of magazines, and she was selling some copies of Spin-Off for like $2 a piece or something, and a few other magazines. So I picked up 2 copies of Spin-Off for $2 a piece. Another vendor that I know, not really know, but have bought from before, is Spun Right Round Yarn and Fiber. Spun Right Round is becoming more popular. She closed the retail space that she had down in Portland, and she is focusing on dyeing at home and doing a bunch of shows. She also has an Etsy shop. This is her logo, Spun Right Round. This This color is Serenity, and this is Rambouillet. Rambouillet is sometimes known as French Merino. I haven't spun Rambouillet before, so I thought I would get some. And this is what the color looks like. It comes in that bag, but I wanted to take it out of the bag so you could see it closer. It's really pretty. It's got a whole bunch of different colors in it. Very nice. Her prep is really good. She's a very nice person. She's going to be doing a lot more shows. Buy her stuff off of Etsy. You'll like her. She's a very nice person. The other thing I bought was from a vendor that I've seen who sells through the Village Yard and Fiber Shop out in Rochester, Spinner's Hill. And this is Lisa Ann Marion, who's out of Bainbridge, New York. Her website is spinnershill.com. Here's her logo. This is a carded bat. That's what it looks like. Very pretty, very nice colors. There's some dark, there's like a blackish color in there. There's blue, there's a violet color. This kind of shows what the difference is between a braid and a bat. This is a braid. A braid of fiber literally comes like this, so that when you take it apart, it's braided together. Usually it's what they call top, which everything is spun, you know, everything is parallel and really nice. But it comes braided, and you take it apart and you strip it down and you make it smaller before you spin it. That's a braid. And this is what they call a bat. A bat is usually run through a drum carder, which is, imagine a circle with teeth on it and kind of like a pushing back and forth, or you crank it, and it makes everything parallel, but it doesn't necessarily make it totally uniform. So you kind of get some striping and things like that. This is what this looks like. And this is a blend of merino wool, BFL, and border Leicester. So Blueface Leicester and also border Leicester. So this is all wool. Really nice prep. It's really soft. It's very airy. And I started spinning that yesterday. This is 2 ounces. The braid was 4 ounces. I started spinning it yesterday on my Shocked high-low spindle because it was just a really nice prep, really easy to spin. Just pull and it just spins up beautifully, and it's spinning nice and thin. It's probably going to end up like, if I 2-plied it or 3-plied it, it would end up as a DK or a worsted weight, I think. That's the color I'm kind of getting. So there's a little variation in it. There's blues and purples. You can kind of tell I like blues and purples because that's pretty much what everything is that you're seeing. And the last thing that I got, which I need to find the tag for. Where are you tagging? It's a tag. I'm looking for a tag, of course now. That's the way it always is. Whenever you look for something, you can't find it. But I got this beautiful, I got a spindle. What I need with another spindle, I don't. But it seemed like a good idea at the time. I got a new spindle. This is a top whirl spindle, and then it has, the whirl is kind of a cup kind of a thing, and like the leader came on it. Spins pretty well. I got to do a little adjusting. I want to kind of bend that cup hook just a tad down. For me, it works, but not super terrific, wonderful kind of thing. I like my cup hook a little bit more bent. And I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to find, oh, here's the tag. Awesome. I found the tag. Okay, the person that made this is a local vendor. He usually, I want to say he usually exhibits at the Wool Center at the State Fair. And he makes other stuff. He makes pepper mills. He also makes pens that have hand-turned wood all around them. And they also have a stylus on the end, which is kind of cool if you can use it as a pen and also use it as a stylus on your cell phone. This is his information. His name is Ed Poe. He is out of Liverpool, New York. So ed_woodworker at yahoo.com. And this is really nice. It's very pretty. It's finished very well. Really nice. He has other styles too that are more traditional, like with the disc type whirl. This was the only one that was like this, and of course I picked it because it's different. But really nice. It spins. Like I said, I want to bend that cup up just a tad more. So if you're interested, his name is Ed Poe, and it's called Exotic Mills, Custom Pepper Mills, and he's out of Liverpool. ed_woodworker at yahoo.com. And I'm sure you can contact him, and he does local shows as well. So like I said, check him out. I think I paid $25 for this, which is very, very reasonable. The Shocked, I paid $20 for. So it's for something that has a nice high gloss on this, and it also has an inlay in that whirl. Really nice work and finished very well. It's a solid spindle. So I think that wraps up the show. I've shown you a couple of things I was working on. Some stuff I bought, a finished project. And if you have any questions or anything for me, feel free to post in the group. If you have some suggestions for stuff, like I said, I'm still debating whether I'm going to go to Rhinebeck this year or not. Coming up in June, I think. June is I think they call it the CNY Fiber Festival, is down in Bouckville, New York. Last year or the year before, it rained like mad. It was intense out on a campground in Bouckville. It's about 45 minutes away from here, but it was a lot of fun. And so check out stuff like that. And if you're interested in any of the stuff I've talked about and I went too fast for you, just PM me or post in the group and say, what was that you said? You know, what was the website for this person? Let me know and I will give you the information. I'm probably not going to post show notes too much. Projects I work on are pretty much on Ravelry, and stuff I talk about, I usually try and tend to stop and speak about it. But if, like I said, if you didn't catch something, just let me know in the group and I will hook you up, so to speak, with the information so you can get the pretties like I have. And I hope you guys have a good week. I will probably not post next weekend. Probably will be in 2 weeks. Hopefully I have a pair of socks or two done by then, and I hope to have this 2-ounce bat spun, at least singles. That would be nice. And then we'll see about the other stuff. I got spinning on spindles and things that need to get done. So that's my story, and I hope you have a good week. Go knit something.